TVT, old slow ones, TVT, and he's old and he's slow and he's one and he's TVTing right now. So I feel like you're gonna one rax fast expand, and I feel like that's the wrong choice for you. I think you should be focusing on one base play, like you said in your email. Macro, like keeping up with your macro is easier the lower your income is, basically. Once you get up to a $3,000 a minute income, it takes a lot of crap to spend $3,000 every minute. So the whole point of a Marine fast expander, of any fast expand, is to be weak until 10 minutes and then have an advantage from 10 till 12 and 12 till 14. And you just don't want to be playing at 14 minutes. You don't want the game to be going on then. So don't be doing this kind of build. I mean, I can give you advice on how to do this kind of build better, but I think that you said in your email that you want a build that you can do that isn't like this. And I think totally do the 111 Banshee tank push, or the 111 Marine tank push, or the 111 Marine tank biking push, or you can do the 111 Hellion Marine elevator into a tank push, or you can do the Reaper Hellion medevac opening into a tank push. I think everything you do should end with the into a tank push suffix, because the only way to end a TVT before 12 minutes is to do a tank push, unless you get really lucky or he makes a huge mistake. You're going to chase this away, but you're not going to kill it, and you don't have any cloak detection other than that one scan. Oh, you did kill it. He's an idiot. I kind of like that you didn't pre-build turrets, and that when his Cloak Banshee showed up, you used a scan, chase it away, and then put down a turret. I think that's the right way to deal with Banshees, because so many people make turrets preemptively, and then Banshees don't come, and then they're like, well, I just wasted a bunch of money. That kind of sucks. I feel like at 10 minutes your army is so minuscule. It's a little tiny baby itty bitty army. Teeny tiny witsy bitsy weedy zeedy. So here he comes with another Banshee. You've got your Viking. You don't quite finish the... Oh, you're forced to spend a $300 scan when this was like 1 second from done. And again, you didn't kill the Banshee. What you're doing, I mean, build-wise, this is the right way to deal with Cloak Banshees, but what you're doing, like, action-wise, I don't know. I feel like you should have just, as soon as he interrupted the building of this turret, you should have grabbed 5 guys and just kept right-clicking on the turret until it was done. And you'll lose 2 SCVs, and then you'll go back to mining, and that's fine. You know, who cares if you lose 2 SCVs? You fast expanded. He didn't. You're way ahead. So at this point, you've lost 16 workers. So you've made 52 workers, and lost 16, and you're still ahead. You're still ahead. That's how cool the fast expandy type play is. But the problem with this is that even though you are still ahead, the game has gone on for 12 minutes. Now, the later we go into the game, the less comfortable you are, and it's not going to be cool. I like when people do this, because this is just a waste of Banshee energy. It's going to kill a tech lab. Like, I'm not worried. This is a lot of his attention that he's focusing on doing that, and then you look back at his army and you're like, oh, he didn't make any other units. He's an idiot. So you should think that to yourself every time somebody spends a lot of effort on Banshee harass. It means he's falling further and further behind. So don't get too worried about it. But you're falling really far behind as well, and you've said, again, I keep mentioning this, you've said that the longer the game goes, the further behind you fall, and this is, I mean, you just don't have the buildings to spend your income. Right now you have, actually your income's kind of low. It's because you just pulled dudes off of your main for some reason. Why aren't there anyone mining at your main? What is going on? Look how many idle workers there are, too. You seem very flustered by this Cloak Banshee stuff, and that's not unusual. The whole point of Cloak Banshee openers is to fluster people. So no shame in being flustered, but you do have 9 idle workers and not a very good saturation balance. And despite having 50 workers, you've only got a $1,300 income. So I'd chalk this game up to being flustered, man. You should never have 9 idle workers. Not that it doesn't happen to everybody, but when it does happen to other people, they say, well, I screwed that up, you know, so it'll happen, and when it does, say, damn, that was a big mistake. So it looks like you're going Banshee into Mech, kind of. I don't know, you went Viking, then Raven, and now Banshee, and nope, more Ravens off of a Tech Lab starport, and you've got 4 factories. You're making a 3rd command center. It doesn't feel to me like you have a game plan. Like you're just making a bunch of crap. And this is a big problem in TVT, because just like most matchups, TVT comes down to one unit, right? Whoever has more tanks in a big fight is gonna win. So every little bit of gas you're forced to spend on these Vikings and this Raven and the stuff that you need to survive as Cloak Banshee harass, that's all gas you're stealing from your tank budget. And you have a lot of tanks, and you have a lot more tanks than him. He's got 1 and you've got 10. So I think if you pushed right now, you'd probably win the game. Right? Let's see. He's got 4 Banshees, but you have Ravens and Vikings, so you're not worried about that at all. He's got only 1 tank and 15, I believe, unupgraded Marines. He's got 0, 1, and no stim and no combat shields. So yeah, if you push now, the game would end. I feel like if you're saying to me that, hey, I like the early game, I dislike the late game because the later the game goes, the harder I find it to keep up. So act like it, man. Go. If you fast expand and you survive an aggressive playstyle, a 1 base like a Banshees or a Marine Hellion Elevator or a tank push, you're way ahead. So go at about 12 minutes or 13 minutes. And we can pretty clearly see that despite you guys having the same army size, your composition just flat out beats his. He's got so much money wasted on Medivacs, Vikings, and Banshees that as long as you have like 4 Vikings, you're immune to his crap, and you can just go with a crap ton of tanks and 4 or 5 Vikings and a Raven, and you win. But you're not gonna, so let's stop talking about it. Your mule energy got all the way to full. That's always a bad sign. You've got unused armories. Never make 2 armories unless you're going to use them. I would suggest actually making 1 armory and queuing up the upgrades. So like go upgrade armor, and then when there's any time between like 40 and 0 seconds left, then upgrade the attack, so that it gives you a lot longer to react to remember that upgrade. Because when you get 2 armories and you're counting on seeing when the upgrades finish and getting double upgrades, it's so easy to just miss, to just not notice. You pulled guys off of the gas geyser here by accident. You pulled guys off of this gas geyser by accident. You've got your 3rd base down, but your money is so freaking high that getting a 3rd base, not really important. I mean, the whole point of the 3rd base is to bring you from a 2K income up to a 3K income, but you were never at a 2K income. So, it's not like you shouldn't get a 3rd base, but I don't know. I feel like it's hard to articulate what I'm trying to say while I'm watching you kill all your workers when you have a whole bunch of stuff right next to that base that could easily stop it. And I do see what you're saying about the later the game goes, the more flustered you get, and then, you're just completely letting him kill this base with 2 Banshees when you specifically made a Raven and Vikings to stop that. Oh, now you're jamming all your guys up into this choke point and getting dominated. That's really bad. You've got $4,500 in the bank. You've got you got about the same income as him. You've spent less than him, but again, he's going for a stupid composition, so you still have what I would consider the stronger army. He's got a bunch of crap, and you've got a very small amount of good stuff. Letting him kill this base kind of feels like the beginning of the end to me, because you're going to starve, and you didn't need to. Your army was right there. And this has been max mule energy all game. It's easy to point out a lot of crap that happened in the late game, and you've said, you're too slow for the late game. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and it's not worth pointing them all out. I hear you. A lot of people feel that way. So again, you're not really gonna be able to macro to 200 unit space successfully with a 26 APM. It's pretty much impossible. So stop doing long games like this. Pick a good 1 base and do it well, or pick a good 2 base and do it well. And in TVT, I would recommend the 1-1-1 builds. either 1/1/1 Banshee, 1/1 tank, 1/1/1 Banshee tank, 1/1/1 Hellion Elevator, all that kind of stuff. Because infantry-based builds are too easily shut down by bunkers and tanks, whereas tank pushes, the only way to survive a tank push is to micro better than your opponent while also having close to the same army and your own siege tanks. And a lot of people are delaying siege mode for such a very long time that you can win with early tank pushes. So yeah, you made a lot of mistakes with this build, but don't do this build, and there you go.